Rico, on the celebration, you're supposed to get 2 pumps, right?
Yeah, that's from my understanding. From my understanding and everything I've learned, and we go stuff like this every week in the meeting room. I definitely think you're supposed to get 2 pumps. Hopefully, we don't get a fine.
Yo, what's up? It's Chris Simms. It's Chris Simms Unbuttoned, and you're here with 2 pump chumps right here, all right? Connor Rogers, it's Chris Simms. We're here. I mean, it's actually amazing. It's where, like, real life is imitating art, okay? Because we had this conversation, Pete, and all that, like, where we were literally like going back and forth with each other going, wait, is 1 pump allowed? I think 1 pump actually is allowed, like off the pee and kill skit, right?
Yeah.
But like, I believe it is allowed. Like, it's truly 1 pump is allowed. I think multiple pumps is not allowed, and I think that's what we're going to figure out here going forward.
And that was Rico that said you're supposed to get 2.
You're supposed to get 2. I think he means 2. You get in trouble. You're supposed to get 1. I think that's what he was trying to say. Because as I understand it, yeah, if you get 2, you're in trouble. But we didn't hear anything about the New England Patriots 2 weeks ago. Stephon Diggs got in, and there was 10 of them that did 1 pump.
Right.
There was no fines or anything like that. So I honestly think, and that's where I'm like, wait, am I getting the show and pee and keel mixed up in my brain? Or did I actually hear that the NFL didn't make the 1 pump is okay rule? And I think that is the truth.
That's
I think you're allowed to do 1 pump. If you do 2 pumps, you're a chump. Okay.
I like it. I like it from Rico Dowdo, who's been one of
amazing.
our heroes of the NFL season
Seriously,
so far.
right.
You're supposed to get 2 pumps. Listen, we got plenty to go through today. Film review. The Vikings and Steelers defenses turned it around against 2 powerhouse offenses, Chris.
Yeah.
You and I got some midseason awards to hand out.
I know.
It's going to be a lot
good.
of fun.
It is.
A lot
it's
of
gonna
fun.
be really good.
We, if you missed it, we had a ton of trade deadline news recapped in our last show. We were live Tuesday at 2 p.m., so if you missed any of our reaction to Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, Rashid Shaheed, Jacoby Myers,
right.
If anything comes down
Draymond
the pipeline,
Jones we hit on a little bit. Roger
we
McCrary to the
got through
Rams.
it
That
all.
happened last week, right? Yeah, we hit it all, I think.
All right, so the film review. Week 9,
Right.
Brian Flores clinic in this one, Chris, in a game where I believe the Vikings at one point were 9.5-point underdogs.
Yeah.
This spread was one of the biggest of the week in a week of big spreads. Not only did the Vikings cover the line, but they win the game. And I think the story has to be what Flores' defense did to make Jared Goff uncomfortable.
Definitely. We hit it on a Monday a little bit, right? We talked about it. And the theme we kind of came away with that I thought watching the game was that getting Jared Goff off the spot, right? And making him move just a little bit. Don't need to make him run,
right.
But just when Jared Goff has to, whoa, and then try to throw it or anything like that, he's lesser than in those scenarios. He's tough as hell. I know that. When Jared Goff, and again, when there's pressure bearing down on him and he can step in and throw it, he'll sit there and take the hit. But these were pressures where it was like he couldn't set up the throw. He had to move first and then kind of recalibrate and then throw. And that was the theme of the football game. There's no doubt about that. All right, so that's one big thing. I think the other thing you look at with Detroit, they're not as creative on the offensive side of the ball as they were with Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson, there was more movements, there was more shifts, there was more diversity in the offensive formations before the play, right? And also, I think there was a little more creativity after the snap too. Again, I'm not saying John Morton's doing a really good job, but I think Ben Johnson's special. I mean, special. So that's where I look at it. I think also, too, another thing that jumps out to me is I think Detroit plays 12 personnel too much. I really do. That is another thing that I looked at throughout the game where I just went, hey, the way they're playing and everything here, this might be a game where, like, if they want to blitz and drop and do certain stuff like this, if you just get 3 speed receivers with one of your running backs who can catch the ball in the backfield and get them out a little bit, I think that would have stressed them out instead of, like, always keeping 2 tight ends in. And I think them feeling comfortable about maybe taking a chance here or something like that because they're going, wait, as long as we don't let Jamison Williams run by us deep. I know Amon-Ra St. Brown's really good, don't get me wrong, but he's not run by us deep 80-yard touchdown guy. Then we feel good that, we can come up with something creative. And Flores is just a master that way. And, he found a lot of cool ways to get into Jared Goff's face. That's what he found on Sunday.
The aggression that he dials up, I mean, they blitzed over 58% of the time in this game, but you had 44% of those were simulated pressures, which is the big point from your notebook.
Yes, right. Yes, see, so I don't call that, I call it blitz zone change, right? It's just change. It's like, yes, there's a guy blitzing, but there's somebody changing into his spot, right?
So it's not an open area.
It's not an open area. It was a lot of still four-man rushes, even though we're going to say they're blitzes, right? Yeah. Which they are. I mean, two guys blitz, but then two guys drop out. One guy blitzes, one guy drops out. Whatever it was, but I felt like I would say 2 out of every 3, plays in where they felt like they were going to pass the ball, right? Someone was going to blitz up the middle, right? They couldn't do it every play because, of course, if you do it all the time, they're going to start to go, oh, right. we got something for you here or there. But them bringing interior pressure with the middle linebackers hitting a gap and then maybe the 2 DNs dropping back was a consistent theme through the day. And what it did throughout the day was, yes, confuse the protection of the Detroit Lions because they want to keep big people on big people, and now, okay, they want their O-line to block the D lineman, right? Well, wait, 2 of the D linemen drop. Now there's 2 guys going down the middle. Okay, yeah, the center's going to take one of them, but the other one now is the back that has to take the other guy, right? And that was another problem with the day. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be tested going forward anytime he's in an obvious passing situation. They kind of exposed him in pass pro. He was pushed back and, physically overwhelmed a few times in the game to where, and again, he's a little bit of a smaller guy.
He's not a big back.
He brings it. Don't get me wrong. Yes. It's not like not wanting to. It's just good luck blocking somebody who's 6'1" or 6'2", 235, and they have an 8 to 10 yard head start and they're running full speed and you just get to take 1 or 2 steps up and you got to meet them and stop them in the tracks. Like, good luck. I guarantee it. Go out there and try it. See how it works out for you.
Send us the videos.
So that to me is going to be something that I think we know it's a copycat league, and I think when people see Jahmyr Gibbs in, they're going to go, wait, we can't cover him. Let's try to find a way to blitz him because we think we can overwhelm him, and then we don't have to worry about covering him either. And I think that could work twofold, but that's going to be a thing for Detroit here as we go forward.
Well, let's get right into it because to your point about the pressure up the middle, they kind of set the tone of the day early on.
Exactly right.
This is the first quarter, 12 minutes and 56 seconds, 3rd and 4 on the Minnesota 40. And what do the Vikings do here, Chris? They are going to blitz up the middle and make Jared Goff move as we have the exact dots and the setup of it behind us. But I think the key here, Chris, is to focus on the A-gaps, right?
It's the A-gaps. And the interior part of the offensive line is a little underwhelming right now for the Detroit Lions, right? And Mahogany is not very good in pass pro. Anything movement-wise, he's really not good.
That was his problem at Boston College.
Exactly right. He can drive you off the ball in the run game, but his feet aren't good. Graham Glasgow is not one of the top-tier centers in the football. Tate Rutledge is doing a pretty good job, but again, he's a rookie too. But here you see the play here, and again, you could see, okay, we got 4 down linemen, Grenard, 97, 61, 43, right? The 2 edge guys, Grenard and Van Ginkel, they drop out. And within that, you get Blake Cashman, and I can't remember 55's name off the top of my head here. I'm going to blank it, but the 2 backers go up the middle. You see here, and it makes Goff, again, move out of the pocket. Nothing great, incomplete pass, but this was the theme of the day. In almost every big, obvious passing situation, they tried to simulate some sort of pressure like this, again, to make Goff. And anybody will tell you the numbers bear this out. If Goff can sit there and pat the ball, he's going to tear you up. If he just has to move a little bit, the numbers drop dramatically, right? I've had defensive coordinators all over football tell me that, and I think that was something that, of course, Brian Flores picked up on and realized that was a flaw of this Detroit Lions offense.
So to clarify, this is the first simulated pressure of the game. This counts as a blitz, but to Chris's point, yes, the Vikings blitzed on 25 of the 43 pass plays, but 44% of them were simulated pressure. So they're not trying to allocate for a lost defender in cover.
They're not exposing themselves in the back end,
which Goff can
do. They're scary that way.
Right.
And what happened, too, with these blitzes and what they were doing with the blitz zone change and 1 blitz and 1 drop, they couldn't pick it up, and then they stopped actually looking to throw the ball down the field because they were like, wait, they're kind of exposing our pass pro here. We got to figure something out. So then they went into, wait, let's throw some screens. Let's throw the short passing game. And Minnesota's like, please, we love that. All right, fine. And yeah, so they got the best of both worlds. You're pressuring Goff, but you're also keeping 7 people in coverage all the time. And that if you want to beat Detroit that way, that's good. Also within that, it helped in the run game. It did, because it just created chaos in the interior. And because those guys are a little bit bigger and slow-footed, like we talked about in the interior part of the O-line, they had a hard time kind of adjusting on the fly to some of the chaos being created. So it helped with the run game as well. And then, on top of that, I think at times when you're a quarterback, you might have a run-pass play called in the huddle, right? You check to the pass, right? And you're thinking, yeah, there's the linebackers looking like they're going to blitz. They're going to outnumber us in the run game. Boom, boom, boom. And you check to the pass, and it's like, oh, no, they played too deep, and they blitzed. They rushed 4, but they blitzed 2 up the middle, and I checked to the pass, and oh, no, and now we're kind of screwed that way. So that's where it was really brilliant by Brian Flores.
Is that something, Chris, that when you start to figure out the simulated pressures as the game goes on, can you run away from it? Or is that just so hard to guess?
You can.
Because 3rd and 4, you can run.
Right.
On 3rd. It's risky.
Right. And they do, David Montgomery's run that he fumbles in the early 3rd quarter, they blitz. They're doing that. And they said, wait, if you want to show this, we're just going to keep you all smashed in there, and we'll toss it outside.
Exactly.
And now you get that. So, yes, there is some of that. I think the answer when you're getting interior O-line or interior blitzes a lot of the times is let's get out on the edge. Let's get the screen pass game going a little bit, right, and do that. Now, this is one where they went to the screen pass game, but the problem was like, they're not really blitzing. It's still 4-man, and those 2 guys on the defense end that dropped out, and you're throwing a screen to the receiver outside, they're already floating out that way anyway, so they're there to make the tackle. So that didn't work. And, yeah, the run game is certainly an area where you can look at to go, let's get on the edge, run toss crafts, toss sweeps, and do that. But the big thing is, in a really high-functioning offense, okay, right, let's just say McVay, let's just say Brady and Belichick in their prime, they would never let those blitzes ruin their game plan. Never. And that's where they're going to have to go back to the lab a little bit to go, wait, how can we figure out not to leave Jahmyr Gibbs on one of these guys? How can we figure out when the DNs do drop out that we can still get our own linemen on these blitzing linebackers instead of like we got one lineman on the blitzing linebacker and now we have our pass catching back who we wanted to get the ball in space here. He's blocking, and that's not good for us. So they got to figure out ways to do that. Can they figure out ways to free release everybody? Send out 5. Again, because they're only rushing 4. But, yes, you're going to have to go back to school on how you're going to dictate your pass protection plan against something like this. And that's what they're going to have to figure out. But I know working under Josh McDaniels and everything, and any high-functioning offense I was around before, a really good offensive coordinator would go, man, we can't be keeping extra guys in to block when it's a 4-man rush and doing all this. And they got 7. Like, we're never going to get anybody open.
It handcuffs your offense.
Right. We got to find a way to get our 5 on their 4, no matter what it is. And if that means more slide pass protection, maybe that's what it has to be, because they're kind of a man pass protect team too. Maybe this is a game where they should have gone, you know what? Let's slide everybody one way and just have our back off the edge. And, if that defense end drops back, you just can release. But at least we have everybody sliding, and we can block the four guys rushing now. So there's some things you can do there, but, it's tough. And how to dissect it and pass it all off is really going to take some work for Detroit to figure that out.
And they might maybe have to get Jamison Williams involved as a decoy more. If you start doing the motions and the fake jet sweeps and I know he had a better game in this game statistically.
Right. Yes.
But just the threat of him on the edges, it's just that's something that for the good John Morton has done in a brutal situation, like being the guy after Ben Johnson.
Right.
That's a terrible spot.
Right.
It feels like J-Mo is the one guy. It's like
he's being left in the dust.
Ben
here.
Johnson knew exactly what to do.
Right.
With him
they have to find a few more ways to just game plan shots down the field for Jamison Williams.
Not with 2 minutes left.
Exactly right. It has to. That's where Ben Johnson did it. Ben Johnson had 3 or 4 plays every game where you're like, he's got a reverse with Jamison Williams. He's got a screen with him. He's got a double move for him, and then he has like 2 or 3 play actions where it's like you either cover him deep, or Amon-Ra St. Brown or Laporte are going to be wide open over the middle. Which one do you want to choose, right?
Right.
That's where he was really good. That's not going on right now. That's, again, what I was trying to say early on. This offense is really good, but is it as creative and as game planning as it once was? No. And I bet you Brian Flores, that's where he felt more comfortable about doing some crazy stuff because he's like, there's a lot to worry about with Detroit, but not as much to worry about as there used to be, and I can take some calculated risk like we've talked about time after time after time.
Yeah, this was a masterclass from Flores. I want to go inside the notebook here, Chris, because this was really like the thesis here. Anytime they think this might be a pass, 2 out of 3 plays, someone is blitzing up the middle.
Right.
And then with Jahmyr Gibbs, can't block blitzers, getting overpowered. And teams are going to try.
The teams are going to try him from now on.
Like, you got to.
They're going to try
test him if he's on the field.
They're going to go, wait, one of the best ways to take Jahmyr Gibbs out of the passing
Run
game
as hard as he can at him.
Blitz him and make him block, and let's see what happens there. I think that's the thing. Right, so that's and then they did try to pivot to David Montgomery a little bit, who of course is better in those situations. But the problem is like, oh no, this time they didn't blitz anybody, and now he's looking, and oh man, Jahmyr Gibbs on the check down would have been really effective on this play, right? So they got stuck in between as far as what to do there. Now they did a great job of what I would love you to look up. How much did they play man coverage, right, in the football game? I feel like maybe when they all-out blitz, they play man. Other than that, I don't feel like they played man very much at all, right? So that was one really big thing for them, right? And then, not much. Not much.
So you're right. They ran cover 0 8 times.
Right.
And that's their all-out blitzes.
Yep.
They ran cover 1 6 times, but then it was all cover 2, cover 3, quarters, and a lot of cover 6.
A lot of cover 6.
16% of the time they ran cover 6.
Yeah, right.
So which is like Flores will.
Yeah, Flores will do that for sure. If there's combinations he doesn't like, right? There's certain things there. Cover 6, it's like, hey, wait, the strong side safety and cover 6 can get involved in the run game a little bit, right? We're protecting probably for Jamison Williams on the outside, on the other side with a cover 2 safety to kind of get over that.
Coverage or something
and then they
that.
probably read it a little bit to where, like, it helps when you play that coverage with deep crossers and stuff like that. And I think that's probably why they lived in cover 6 a little bit there. But yeah, they didn't give them many chances to throw deep shots down the football field. And then what's happened is then they flustered Goff a little bit with the pressures and getting him off the spot. And, hey, he still made some great throws. And, man, did they make some 3rd and 4th down conversions where you're like, Minnesota's got him. They called the perfect defense. Oh, my God, he broke a tackle. Goff still made the throw, whatever. I mean, they still make some damn plays that way, which is incredible. But what the pressure did, especially early on, it sped up Goff for the rest of the game a little bit. There was plays where you go, wait, there's nobody there. And he was kind of moving around in the pocket like he had to move, like somebody was there. And I was like, no, they just rushed their normal 4. They're playing Tampa 2. Like, you didn't need to move and get off or he felt somebody maybe blitz off the edge, and it's like he was blocked, and now he rolled out to the right. And it was like, you were good. You didn't have to.
Yep.
But that's, again, what early pressure can do to a quarterback's mental clock, and that's where Brian Flores knew that as well.
So the deep dive, to blitz or not to blitz?
Yeah.
That is the question. I want to actually kind of focus this on you, Chris, because you played quarterback. As a young quarterback, did you like when teams tried to heat you up because maybe it gave you a little bit more space to throw into, or would you rather have the time and find the space?
Yeah, it depended on the teams and you played. Now, if you blitz and you play man to man as a young quarterback, especially, I was like, thank God, great.
It simplifies things,
right? Exactly right. Yes. It's like, it's cover 1. My coach taught me how to get into max protection or keep an extra guy in the block, and now I got Joey Galloway 1-on-1, and I don't really have to read anything. I just drop back and go, wait, did Joey get a good release? Oh, he did. You're throwing it deep, right? Or I'm throwing the comeback. Uh-oh, you're in trouble, right? So that's where you kind of liked the blitz as far as that. Now, there was a few teams, where, okay, I played Rex Ryan when he was the Baltimore Ravens and the D coordinator there. That was one where it was like, oh, it's blitz, but it's smart blitz. It's calculated blitz. It's not like they just leave somebody on an island. And, like, they'll do some things in coverage where you're like, yeah, I don't know what coverage that is, right? It's like I said Hut, they blitzed the guy, they blitzed 2, they might have dropped 1, and they played a specific zone coverage just for our game where you're like, I don't know what this coverage is. It's called you, Chris Simms, and John Gruden, and we are all over your stuff, right? So that's where you didn't like it as a whole. But when teams were basic blitzers, I usually did like
Like
it.
the 5-man, we could pick this up.
5-man blitz.
Yeah.
We're playing cover 3 behind it. Right now,
yeah.
Gruden's taught me how to call the right mic ID and do all that. And now, like you said, there's one less extra guy in coverage. We got 5 on 5, or I kept my back in and we got 6 on 5. And now it's one lesser guy in coverage. And wait, Joey Galloway, he's not there yet, but I'm protected. And he's about to come open for a 20-yard in cut. And we're gonna scorch you right here, right? So those are the kind of blitzes you liked. But as a whole, some of the teams that I played that were the greatest defenses, and I don't have that long of a career, but like the Carolina Panthers, they were just a tactical blitzer. They were going to play coverage for the most part. Their front four was big and strong with Julius Peppers. Yeah. They felt like they were going to get there, and then it was going to be just at the least expected moment. It'd be like one blitz, and those to me were more of a pain in the ass than the team that was like consistently bringing pressure all game long.
Are there any quarterbacks who you would never blitz? Like you just look at them and you go, he'll just dissect it. We can't do it.
I think Mahomes is kind of like that. Mahomes is like that. Mahomes will do it 2 different ways. He'll dissect you with some quick throws, and sometimes he'll go, wait, you're blitzing, get close to me, and then I'm going to get outside the pocket and make something happen. And that, to like your point, like these double A gap blitzes with the defense ends running out, if you're playing Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes, they're going to lose contain. And they're going to – so that's something that Brian Flores would not be able to do that to those guys as much as he just did it to Jared Goff. Because it'd be like, oh, gosh, Mahomes is on the edge again. He's bought 7 seconds, and now we're playing zone, and we can't cover these guys in the scramble drill, right? So that's where it does depend on the quarterback a little bit and how you kind of orchestrate that. And this is one where he went, I don't need to worry about that. If he gets outside contain, we're fine with that with Jared Goff, right? And I think that's where they were with this football game.
Yeah, and I think it's funny because now you're seeing – it depends so much on the healthier personnel as well. Like we've seen guys like Ulbrich and Saleh and even D'Amico when he has to – when they don't have all their pass rushers, it's like, my front four is not getting home like he usually does. Maybe now I have to call a blitz because we can't just give them all day to throw.
Right.
So I feel like that plays into it too. Is like, what ingredients do you actually have to work
definitely.
with?
The ingredients
on the defensive side
are huge. Exactly.
Flores might be, I think, maybe the best right now at just making it work with whatever he's got.
Flores got to a point when he was down in Miami, and we've had this conversation, me and B-Flow, and I don't think he'd have a problem with me sharing it, where at first he got there and he thought, if I just teach real good defense and we play sound, we'll be fine as a defense. And then they started out and whatever, and he's like, wait, I'm sound, and it doesn't matter. Like, these quarterbacks and these officers are too good. People are still picking us apart. And he got to a point there, I believe it was late in the first year, where he started to go, I got to make these guys more uncomfortable mentally. It's just too easy for them. They're getting underneath the center. They're going, oh, wait, it's cover 2. Yeah, they're really sound at it, but I got cover 2 play here. It doesn't matter how sound you're at. You're not going to be able to cover it, right? And that's where I think he, at that early part of his Miami career, realized, wait, confusion for the quarterback, making him feel the illusion of pressure without pressure, and making him second-guess himself as far as, wait, what coverage am I seeing here, right? It has some great benefits to, oh, no, now I patted the ball in extra time, or, oh, no, I looked at the pass rush to make sure I was protected, and number 1 was open, but I missed it because I was peeking out of the corner of my eye, right? Yeah. It does so much stuff like that with such value for a defense.
Yeah, I would call him the aggressor. Like, there's defensive coordinators that kind of let the quarterback bring the fight to them, and then there's guys that they don't even want to take that chance.
Yes, right. And, and he does it different ways, like you said, too. They play Philadelphia a few weeks. They blitz. They play more man-to-man. Because there was things, I think, on there. First off, I think there was things on theirs where they were looking at, like, wait, they'll throw an RPO slant or do stuff like that, and they'll just keep throwing that, and we'll have to tackle A.J. Brown, right? So I don't want to play blitz zone against that all the time there. So, I mean, it depends on who he's playing to what he'll do there, and that's what good coaches do. It's game plan specific, right? We talk about that. You can't just go, oh, we do this. This is what we do. It's like, okay, there's some of that, but some of what you do is going to have to change a little bit to certain teams because they're going to pose problems, and the best coaches realize that.
We're going to take our first break. When we're back, we're diving into another surprising defensive performance. How about the Steelers stepping up to stop the Colts? Navy versus Notre Dame. That is Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC and Peacock. And who will be on the pregame coverage?
You and I.
That's right. Us two guys will be on there breaking down a very good Navy team.
Yes. I mean, Navy's a pain in the butt.
Oh, my goodness.
I would
they
never
just lost their first game.
Yeah, North Texas beat them. North Texas understands how to, whatever you want to call Navy's offense. The wishbone, that's what I call it. I don't know.
Pretty
right?
much. It's like
Delaware
a modern,
wing
it's like a modern wishbone.
Yeah, right.
Like a few twists on the OG wishbone.
I've tried to figure out how to, when I was doing Notre Dame games a little bit and they played Navy, first off, Notre Dame coaches, this was Brian Kelly's era, they were always like, oh,
yeah,
this is
pain in the ass
a
week.
pain in the ass week, right? Yep. Because this is one where it's like one of the beauties of Navy is when you only have 4 days to prepare for all this and all of that, to get ready for all our run game and all our rules, and we fake to this guy, and we fake to that guy, and we pitch it out there, right? It's tough on teams in a normal work week. That's why you don't see them really win bowl games usually, because the team goes, wait, we got 5 weeks to figure this out. We'll get these rules down in 5 weeks. But in these kind of scenarios, man, this is tough. And, it's not easy to figure that out. And it's the whole season for Navy. I mean, Notre Dame, Navy, other than Navy Army, this is the biggest game on the schedule for Navy.
Prime
Under
time.
the lights, prime time. They'll be ready to go.
I was looking. Okay, here it is. So how many points do you think Notre Dame is favored by in this game?
Oh,
I'm actually a little surprised. It's
wow.
bigger. It's bigger than I thought.
It's 17?
26.5.
Wow, is it 26.5?
I might have to go on national television and back Navy.
It's
just a lot of points.
That's a lot of points for a team
and
that you know is
Notre Dame
going to slow the game down.
Great against BC.
They're
last
not.
week.
They're not. Yeah, I mean, they're not great. The thing that you get here with Notre Dame, or they're not great on the defensive side of the ball this year as compared to last year, but you don't have to worry about a pass game a whole lot here. So it can allow you to just allocate all your resources to stopping this run, and they can feel good about, especially some of their corners. They're going to go, no, we can cover them. We don't care. Other 9 guys figure out the run game, right?
I got a couple days to figure it out. We'll see. Let's get into more film review here in this one. The Steelers defense, with one of the stunners of the year, honestly.
Right.
What they did to the Colts offense, Chris, my jaw hit the floor. The main talking point for us on Monday was that they changed from playing so much man to heavy zone.
Yep.
For context, entering Week 9, the Steelers played man 43% of the time. That was the third highest rate in the NFL.
It's crazy.
Week 9, they dropped that down to 30%. 70% was their highest zone rate of the season. 50% single high, and 46.4% split safety. They only played cover 0 3.6% of the time. So all that sounds great, Chris, but what does it really mean against the Colts offense?
Right. Well, I think the thing, they played less man. That was the first thing.
Right. And you're not convinced they have the personnel to play that way,
I don't think the man's a problem. It was even a problem in this game, right? When they played man, I was like, oh, they're getting open. There was a few times too where it was like, oh, luckily the pressure got there, or one of the edge rushers got there. But yeah, also within that, yes, I don't think they're a great man-to-man football team. They got to be careful. Just dabble in man. Joey Porter holds almost every play he's in man coverage. You've heard what I've said. Darius Slay, it's at the end of his career. He can't run quite the same way. Eccles is okay. And the other thing they did is they moved Jalen Ramsey to full-time safety, which is what they should have done. I mean, that's what should have been done. Again, he's better. He's a real good secondary player. Like you've heard me say for 2 years now, you don't want Jalen Ramsey on an island. Jalen Ramsey got traded for a 3rd-round pick to the Miami Dolphins. That doesn't mean island shutdown corner a day after we just saw Sauce Gardner, island shutdown corner, get traded for 2 first-round picks, right? I mean, so that's not who he is anymore. And so that's where I think that'll help them as all. But their main theme of the day was zone coverage, keep them in front of you, the explosive Colts offense for the most part, and then their edge guys absolutely whoop the shit out of the tackles of the Indianapolis Colts, which I haven't seen anybody do at the Colts this year. And they just had their way. And I think those would be the 2 or 3 things that were the big difference for the Steelers defense.
And I think one of the signature plays of the game was one of those instances in the second quarter, 11 minutes, 27 seconds, 1st and 10 at the Pittsburgh 38. TJ Watt gets home for the strip sack. If he doesn't, Chris, it seemed like there was 2 options on display for Daniel Jones.
There is, and I feel like I don't know this for sure, but this is just as he's getting stripped here. But I believe he's going to throw the ball to Alec Pierce. Now, this picture doesn't do this justice, but if you waited just a split second longer, he runs by Joey Porter. and they have a squatting middle of the field safety. So I think he was getting ready to throw the ball over the top, but maybe not. I couldn't tell
He would
all the
have
way.
Pierce.
But either way, you see, yes, he would have had Pierce. I know it doesn't look like it here.
No, it's wild.
You see it, right?
It is wild, the step he gets. It looks like a rocket.
He picked a picture where he was like, where can I make the guy look as most covered to disprove Chris? But either way, he does run by him, all good, okay? But then you see Tyler Warren as well.
Right.
And this is where the game was 7-0 Colts. And here they were marching down the field again. And you went, uh-oh, if they go up 14-0, all the Lou Anarumo crazy zones come out, and now their offense just feels like, hey, we got a lead. We can do whatever we want. And then here comes T.J. Watt making an unbelievable play, as he did a lot throughout the football game. Him and Alex Highsmith were absolutely phenomenal throughout the game.
So I think the question now is, Chris, what's more likely to carry over the rest of the season? Is it the Steelers' defense finding something, or is it that Daniel Jones' turnover issues maybe pop back up?
No, I don't think you're going to have to worry about the Daniel Jones turnover issues.
The offense is too...
It's too diverse and too easy. Exactly right. Did he make some mistake? The strips, I don't blame the strips on him.
That was immediately.
Right, immediately. His strip later in the game is kind of immediately, and he's about to throw to an open receiver, right? The one in the fourth quarter. Also, the one you blame on him is the interception. The interception you blame on him. But if you look at the interception he throws to Peyton Wilson, right, he feels pressure. He's already been pressured a few times. He can feel, I can't remember who was off the left edge on that one on the interception. I think it was Highsmith, but he kind of gets off the ball well, and he's kind of getting close to Daniel Jones, and I think Daniel Jones he's looking to his left, and now he's coming back to the right, but he's like, oh no, somebody's coming, and he tries to throw it a little quicker than he wants, and he had more time, and he would have been able to evaluate, oh wait, Peyton Wilson dropped right there. Watch out, he's underneath your guy, and that, of course, caused an interception too. So the pressure by the edge guys were just a huge part of the football game. The other thing I'd like to know, too, just from you, if you don't mind, is like how much did they blitz in the game overall?
The Steelers?
Yeah.
I could pull that up for sure.
Because it certainly didn't seem like they blitzed very much overall. And I would hope that going forward, they don't have to blitz a whole lot going forward.
Right, so they could allocate more defenders.
Well,
so they
not
blitzed 29.5% of the time. It was 18 pass blitzes on 61 pass plays, but they were almost all just five-man
They were
blitzes.
five-man pressure.
Like, it wasn't like, here we come.
Right.
It's just, here's one extra guy.
Yeah, one extra guy. I feel like those are the few times they played man-to-man, a few times they blitzed and might have played cover three. It's actually a little higher than I would have expected. But one of the other things, too, from this game, I thought that really, this is the first time all year I thought this was Shane Steichen. With all the coverage they played and zones and soft coverage, man, they just did not stay with the run game. There'd be another one like we talked about with Kansas City and Buffalo a little yesterday. This is one here today where I sit here and go, yeah, they let the Steelers off the hook. They did. They could have stayed more consistent. This was a game where the Steelers were like, we're worried about your big plays down the field in the pass game. That's our number one thing. And I think there was more to be had in the run game that they could have took advantage of. And that was something I felt like the Colts, messed up on a little bit.
Yeah,
there.
only 14 carries for Jonathan Taylor. And I mean, you look at it, though, on outside zone, he had 6 carries. He was averaging almost 5 yards a pop.
The holes were there. Again, the Steelers' front played better than we've seen. But again, there was a lot of plays where I go, the D tackles are still getting pushed back.
Yep.
Their linebackers were aggressive in this game, trying to come downhill. But yes, I still looked at it and went, in the run game, the Colts are moving the Steelers. Why are they becoming so pass happy? Right, I don't, and I think because they thought they were going to get blitz, man-to-man coverage, we're going to get what we've seen from the Steelers all year.
Right.
So we're gonna call passes and screw them and throw them deep. Right, that's what I think. But that's got to change. And let me just say, I wrote this at the end of my thing here. Right, worst day of the season for the Colts offensive line, especially the tackles, like we talked about. Right. Then the other part is when the Steelers play man, it's scary. It's scary for the Steelers. It's scary. Like, people are always open when they play man. Right. Steelers got lucky in this game with, we played man and a left tackle got beat and you were about to get a big completion. Or, we played man and thank God somebody tipped the ball at the line of scrimmage because it was about to be another big play, right? So that's where, like, hey, this is a good start for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Am I sold that all defensive problems are fixed yet? No, not necessarily, right? So that's the other thing too. And then, there was a few times where it's man, and it's like, I think Daniel Jones is spoiled by the first read getting open a few times where it's like, no, come on, get off it. The second guy is wide open in your read, but then pressure would come or he'd get hit just as he was throwing it. So it was like one of those days too where there was a bunch of plays by the Colts where we were like, oh my gosh. They almost had the Steelers, but the Steelers made a play or the Colts messed it up. And that certainly was one of the themes of the game too.
Well, their next 5 games, I think their man coverage is going to be challenged because they are at the Chargers. They are home to the Bengals. They are at Chicago. They are hosting the Bills, and then they're at Baltimore.
Who's that? That's the
Steelers.
The Steelers.
So
wow.
those are 5 quarterbacks that are going to challenge the secondary.
No
and
question.
we're going to see what they can do.
No question about it.
But like Justin Herbert, say what you want, but Joe Flacco, he's done it already. What do I need to say?
Definitely.
He's already shown you.
Right. Caleb, scary.
Caleb, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
Oh my gosh, yeah. They
this is kind of the.
We're gonna see if this works. This new.
You know what cutting time.
Exactly
for the Steelers.
Right. It is.
These next 5.
Definitely is. It's good. I think this is the right approach, though. As I said, I just wouldn't trust some of their guys on islands and play zone, mix up your zones, make the quarterback get confused, pat the ball in extra time. I got hit by T.J. Watt or Alex Highsmith, right? I think that's the way to go going forward. I think it's their best chance. And then you just dabble in man with a tactical man blitz or whatever now and then. But don't be like you were in Green Bay or in other weeks where you lived in man and you let Jordan Love, like we've had conversations with before, just throw one-on-one shots up, right?
Right.
Or do that. And that, to me, does not make sense for the Steelers defense.
We're going to take our last break. When we're back, Chris and I have our Midseason Awards with an unbuttoned twist on them.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL, and new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. Download the app and use promo code CORNERBACK when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
All right, Chris and I have our Midseason Awards to hand out, and we have to start with MVP.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think this one is as cut and dried as the odds will tell you.
I don't think so either.
The odds have, understandably, I'm not acting like this is egregious. Josh Allen's at the top, and
Right.
Mahomes is right behind him,
Right.
and Drake May's plus 425. Chris, my MVP is Matthew Stafford at
Yep.
plus 550. I think Matthew Stafford has a little bit of the sin of sometimes it looks so easy for them
Right.
that we're not like, whoa, what did the Rams do today? Like we do for the Bills, which we should. Drake May's the new kid on the block. I
Yeah.
love the hype for him.
Right.
Mahomes is Mahomes.
Right.
But I think if the Rams finish out this season like I expect them to, the throws he's making, what he does for that team, Matthew Stafford is my MVP this season.
Well, we think alike because that's mine as well. Yeah, I went Matthew Stafford as well. I feel like right now we're in a thing of like where it's like the people are like, wait, some of these people, we don't want to give them the MVP, so let's just put Josh Allen and Mahomes up the top.
Right.
It's like, okay, I get it, but like there's some people here having some special, like it's like, man, are we really going to give Baker Mayfield an MVP? Are we really going to give Matthew Stafford or Sam Darnold?
Why not?
That doesn't sound good next to MVP. So let's come up with a 5-4 quarterback. I mean, again, that doesn't make sense. I mean, you know what I might think about Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, they're 2 of the greatest ever. I get that. But that doesn't mean you just put them at the top of the list for MVP every year. Right? I feel like right now, Josh Allen would be more in the lead over Patrick Mahomes for me and my money, right? But, I mean, I think out of weekly quarterback play, I'm definitely going Matthew Stafford right now for everything you've talked about. And honestly, I'm not so sure I wouldn't go Drake May second after that right now. Right.
I
mean,
for
I'm
what
kinda
he's
there.
done for
Yes,
his team.
Right.
I think the problem is a lot of these odds try to reflect future schedule.
Yep.
And this is the year of parity in the NFL.
Right.
Where I don't really care as much about that anymore. So, and I also think Matthew Stafford's going to be fine in his second half schedule.
I mean, again, and like we've talked about, they're 2 games away. I mean, where it's they lost by a thread, and you'd go, they're undefeated. So I just look at that. They're a Super Bowl caliber team. They're one of the best teams in football. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going Matthew Stafford as well.
How about Offensive Player of the Year?
My offensive player of the year, hold on, is Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, he's the favorite right now.
I'm going to go with Jonathan Taylor.
I think that's really fair.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson Smith and Jigba made me think about it a little bit.
He's mine.
He's yours.
And I think, I will be honest, I think part of me is the new effect.
Yeah.
I've seen Jonathan Taylor do this before, so I'm a little bit more excited that Jackson Smith and Jigba is doing this. But I think this is the best Sam Darnold has ever looked in his football life, and I don't think it's a coincidence
No, I think it's
what JSN's done
definitely
for that team. And I think that you can take at times Jonathan Taylor out of the game. I haven't seen a team even come close to taking JSN.
No, that's what I love about it. They're awesome because they're just like, they're in your face with it. They're like, we're throwing the Jackson Smith and Jigba. We're designing plays for Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, the first drive the other night, what, did he catch 3-4 balls on the first drive? Or they're all just little game plan things? Right. They were like, we know how they're going to play, and we're going to use these plays and see how they adjust, and we're going to get him the ball and get him going. So, yeah, I mean, I'm with you there. That was my second choice. I will go with Jonathan Taylor for now, though.
Defensive Player of the Year, Chris, is a little more challenging.
Yes, it is.
It's pretty open. Micah Parsons is plus 165. Myles Garrett's plus 250. Hutchinson's plus 425 before the board opens up. Did you have a clear pick here?
I'm going with Myles Garrett.
So did I.
Did you really?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't give a damn what the team's record is.
That's my whole thought.
Like, stop all that crap. This is defense first off. So, like, winning's not a stat for a defensive end like it is quarterback.
Right.
All right?
It's ridiculous.
And I kind of go with defensive guys, go with a little bit of the theory of, like, on a weekly basis, who are we talking about the most right now? And it's Myles Garrett almost every freaking week. He is leading the charge. Micah's awesome. I get it. But I don't think he's been as consistently awesome as Myles Garrett has been this year.
I agree.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett, it's just, he's just buried by a bad team.
Exactly right.
But I try, for this one specifically, I tried to put myself in the shoes of an offensive coordinator and say, who would I fear the most?
Right.
And then it became very easy for me.
Right.
I was like, it's Myles Garrett. I fear him the most.
Yeah. I think that's fair. You know, I mean, Micah's right up there with him, but I don't think it's to Myles. Myles Garrett has become not only the pass rushing force, but he's also a force in the run game as well. I mean, he does it all. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Myles Garrett as well.
All right, this is where it gets a little bit more fun. We have actual unbuttoned awards. It's not DPOY and MVP. It's Ass Kicker of the Year.
Yeah, Ass Kicker of the Year. And, you know, these are where I, like, sometimes want to go with guys that are a little off the radar. Right? I mean, it's like, let's give some love to – because I just see the Defensive Player of the Year awards. And for Defensive Player of the Year, Jared Verse is in that ranking while being the second best pass rusher on his team because Byron Young's just not a sexy enough name to throw on that list yet. That's what I feel like we're getting a little into that right now. Name whores in our country right now. If he's got a name, then let's throw him on there. It doesn't matter about what the context is behind it. I mean, that's where we are. And Byron Young, man, you watch the Rams right now. I mean, he's around the quarterback all the time. What's he, third, fourth in football and sacks altogether? I just feel like he's a guy that deserves to get a little credit, and I'm going to throw him the Ass Kicker of the Year award here.
I love this. He is third in the NFL with 9 sacks, but what drives me nuts is he had the most egregious roughing the passer penalty that took one away last weekend.
I saw that.
It wasn't even head-to-head. It wasn't even head to shoulder.
And he didn't fall on the guy.
Nothing. He just hit him hard because he's explosive.
There's a lot of that in football right now.
So he has 10 sacks, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the worst calls of the year.
Right.
Byron Young's awesome. Great call out, Chris. I went with Penei Sewell.
Okay.
Penei Sewell is just, I mean, demolition tour every time you watch him play.
Right.
He's awesome. He is really one of the true anchors of a great Lions team. And he's an Iron Man on the side for them. He allows them to do what they do in their run game.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it.
He's an ass kicker.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. You're not wrong with that one there. That's good you went with the O-line. I'm glad you gave them a little credit
bigger
too.
name, but O-line don't win awards.
No, they don't.
So
and they never get
the
credit.
award for him. How about a little trivia? What defensive line leads the NFL in quarterback hits this season? Here's a hint. He also led the NFL in quarterback hits last year, but he's never had double-digit sacks.
Okay, so what D-line leads the NFL in QB hits this?
It's a player.
Yeah.
It's a player.
Right. Okay.
Defensive lineman.
Yep. And read the rest of what you said.
So he led the NFL in quarterback hits last year, but never in his career has he had double-digit sacks.
Wow.
I don't know. I'm going to look in a second, but I don't know the answer to this.
Wow. And he's a D lineman. Is he an edge guy? That's the other?
Nope, interior guy.
He's an interior guy and a really good defense.
Consistently underappreciated. Wildly underappreciated.
Wow. Hold on. It's not a guy in Denver at all.
It is.
It is.
Yeah, you're on the right.
It's J.J. Watt Jr.?
That's exactly right. It's Zach Allen.
100%.
Wow. Good job, Chris.
Wow,
Damn.
thanks, man. Thanks a lot.
He leads the NFL with 25 quarterback hits. No other player has more than 17.
That's incredible.
He's in a class of his own.
They put you in some problems there because it's like, wait, do we want to worry about Nick Bonito? Oh, no. Now he's Zach. What the hell's his
Zach
damn
Allen?
name? Zach Allen. Yeah, he's one-on-one. So, and I call him J.J. Watt Jr. because that's who he reminds me of. I mean, it's very similar in that mold, and I know he was even around J.J. in Arizona, right there for 1 year when J.J. went to the Arizona Cardinals, to where, I think he copied a lot of his moves and did all of that. So, it's good for him.
So I have a okay performance of the year.
Yeah, what's yours?
And you have a Robin Hood of the year.
Right.
Is how we broke these ones up. My damn okay performance of the year is Jamar Chase's 16 catches against the Steelers.
Yeah.
Where Joe Flacco just literally said, it's not hard.
Right.
I'm just going to throw the ball to Jamar in this game. It was an awesome win for the Bengals.
Incredible.
This is the type of player that he's done that many times in his career, but it never gets old watching.
No, I mean, he's, to me, is the best receiver in football. That's who I would take number one.
Yeah, me too.
We've talked about it. It's debatable in some of all of that as well, but I like that a whole lot. I had one I was going to bring into my mind here about my damn okay player of the year, and I forgot about what the hell I was going to say there. Is either Emeka Ibuka, I think was going to be like, if you just gave me one guy to go like, damn, I didn't think he was going to show up this year to this extent and be that awesome for the offense. He would kind of be that guy. I didn't pick specific game. If I had to pick a specific game, I think the James Cook game 2 weeks ago against Carolina off the bye week or whatever, and what he did, 216 yards rushing, kind of set the new attitude for the Bills after the bye week. I think it kind of set the attitude for their whole team. That would probably be the game or the performance I would look at.
Yeah, or even maybe Rico Dowdle, what he's done for a Panthers team.
100%. Right.
Didn't have a lot of expectations going into this year, but good for Rico Dowdle and good for the Panthers. How about your Robin Hood of the year? This is my favorite award category.
Well, right, and this is where I kind of had like these two. I have two guys here, and one of them I was going to use for the damn okay, because I was kind of thinking overall the whole year. Like, right? And I love the Robin Hood conversation. I think if I had to go with one, all right, I'll go with Kayshon Boutte. Kayshon Boutte, would people really realize that, okay, he's got 5 touchdowns. He's second in football in yards per catch, right? I mean, he's a lot more explosive and I think doing, a better job than maybe the general public has jumped onto.
Yeah.
I also had Alec Pierce. As you know, I'm a huge Alec Pierce fan. And Alec Pierce does lead football in yards per catch. He's the best deep threat guy in the game. I mean, I know he's white and nobody wants to buy into it, and I get it. I'm there with you. But damn, he runs by everybody. He really does. So those are two that I do look at and go, hey, these are difference-making players that just don't get put in that category at times, and they should.
Our last one, game of the year, and sorry I had to pick this one, Chris, but I went with the Broncos comeback over the Giants.
I figured.
I mean, total insanity.
Yeah.
And it's not just what the Broncos did. Dart leading the Giants down the field at the end made it just as good to me.
It was unreal game.
Like the Giants were gut punch of the century and got off the mat, scored, and then the Broncos did what they did with the field goal at the end.
Definitely.
It was the best game of the year.
Just where we were with the Giants, and it was like, oh, there's some hope. They just beat the Eagles. Oh my gosh, are they going to do this? Jackson Dart's jump started the team. Are they going to make some run here, the New York Giants? Right? All of that. 2 tip pass interceptions. That was incredible. I'm going to go to a Week 3 matchup as the game of the year, which could be the NFC Championship rematch. The Eagles and the Rams. That'll be the game of the year for me.
The big comeback.
Because, one, yes, the Rams could have blown them out in the first half, didn't do it. The Eagles come all the way back. The Rams are going to kick a chip shot field goal to win the football game. And then it gets blocked in return for a touchdown.
Total nuts.
That was nuts. So that, to me, was the game of the year. I think I said wow and oh my gosh more times in that freaking game than I can remember. So, yeah, I'm going to pick that one right there.
A lot of good candidates for that one. Week 1, we had the Bills-Ravens.
Yeah,
the ridiculous Bills
amazing.
comeback.
Right.
The Cowboys-Giants overtime game.
A lot of fun, that one.
Totally nuts.
Yep.
And then the Bucs-Seahawks.
Yeah. Back
which
and
maybe
forth.
is the other NFC Championship game preview.
I know.
Where Darnold was awesome, but then throws the pick, and Baker's awesome, and it was just totally nuts. No defense could get a stop. We've had like a really good first half run of great finishes.
We definitely have. We have a year here of, I think, like there's more teams in the Super Bowl window.
Right.
There's more teams in the middle class of the
That's
NFL than ever before. And it's the year of like plays and playmakers. The games are so close. It's just like what team's going to make the play or what playmaker is going to make the play.
Right.
I've kind of been talking that a little bit, lately of just, and I think that's why we saw some crazy trades happen yesterday and all that, because teams are going, wait, the games are close. In a big moment, we need a player to make a play all the time. I can't always call the right play or the defense draw up the right defensive play and all of that. And I think that's where it's maybe more important now than ever to have those type of guys on your football team.
Another week in the books for us.
You know it, bro.
Great week.
You the man, Connor.
A lot of fun.
Thanks as always. Thanks everybody out there. You know where to find us. Subscribe, rate, review. Tomorrow, I'm on the Week 10 picks with Florio. Okay? My mind was in the right place last week. I didn't have a great week record-wise, right? But my mind was in the right place. I'm not discouraged. I'm not discouraged, right? When you gamble, you're going to lose a few games here and there.
You will lose quite a bit.
Right. So,
yes.
But, I wasn't mad at my pick, so we'll see where it goes.
Process over results,
Yes,
Chris.
exactly right. You got to just stay consistent and trust the process, all right? So, everybody, tune in to see me and Florio on Thursday. Connor, you the man, as always. Thanks for driving the ship. Everybody, you know where to find us. Peace out, homies. We'll check you out next time. Yo, thanks for watching, homies. We are now in the NFL season here on Chris Simms Unbuttoned.
Hit subscribe to get our weekly picks, game recaps, film deep dives, and much, much more.
Thanks again for watching. Subscribe, rate, review. Peace out. You know where to find us.